So, good morning, students. Welcome to RK's online classes. I hope everybody able to hear my voice. Okay. If any problem is there, please send message to my WhatsApp number 98491389667. Okay, already my number is there in the group. If any problem is there, please message to my number, WhatsApp number. And slightly there will be time lag will be there. Slightly there is a time lag between transmission and receiving. Okay. So after this I will take a Zoom class also. There is no time lag. Okay. So today is a demo class. So okay, once again good morning. So welcome to Dr. RK's online classes. So today's class is in live demo class for Pramana students only. It is exclusively for Pramana students. As all of you know, we are giving IIT JEE NEET CET coaching for the last 7 years for Pramana students. Last 7 years. We started in 2013. In 2013, 4 students got below 100. At that time, CET, there is no NEET at that time. Okay. So year by year, we are getting good results at Pramana Raichur. So this year, we got the best results. Almost 4 students got 600 plus, nearly 600 plus, which is a very good achievement when compared to all other big colleges. So in a place like Raichur, we are getting 600 plus 4 students. 600 is the benchmark, the top mark. Okay. So almost nearly 30 to 35 students eligible for NEET. Eligible in sense they will get a free seats without any reservation. Okay. In 2016, Pramana student by name Raghavi got state second rank, not in CET, in NEET. At that time, NEET is already introduced. State second rank, that's the best rank in North Karnataka. In 2014, 4 students got below 100. So I hope you also do well in coming years for IIT JEE NEET All India exams. So today I want to concentrate on first kinematics one dimension, mainly on average velocity and speed. Mainly, I want to concentrate on average velocity and speed. That is, how to calculate average velocity in a different situations like uniform speed, uniform acceleration, non-uniform acceleration. Okay? In each case, how to calculate average velocity and average speed. Okay? So, let us start our journey. Okay. So just 1 minute. So I hope all of you are able to see clearly my screen, my iPad screen. Okay. So all of you know, I think you might have gone through my earlier YouTube class where I explained each term, rest, motion, displacement, velocity, speed, acceleration and all. Non-uniform velocity, uniform acceleration, non-uniform acceleration. That is one dimension. Of course, first we'll confine to one dimension. Okay. So just 2 minutes I want to give the brief idea about the 4 fundamental equations of kinematics. 4 fundamental equations of kinematics. Okay. So let u is the initial velocity of a body. Okay. Initial velocity means a t is equal to 0. Okay. Accelerated uniformly. Uniformly acceleration means what? Equal changes in velocity takes place in equal intervals of time. Equal changes in velocity in equal intervals of time. Then we say uniform acceleration. And after time t, its velocity is v. Okay? And total displacement is s. Its acceleration is a. So these are the terms already you know. Okay? So first equation. So in physics, every equation comes from the definition. Okay? First concept, definition, formula, application. Okay? So this is the flow chart of the terms. In physics, concept. Let us say acceleration. What is the meaning of acceleration? If the velocity of the body varies with time, we say acceleration. Okay? That is called concept. The velocity must vary with time, then only we say acceleration. It may be acceleration, it may be retardation, negative acceleration. Okay? So that is concept. Then what is the definition? Definition means quantitative idea. How much is the acceleration? How do you calculate acceleration? Look at this. Acceleration is defined as change in velocity per unit time. How much change in velocity is there for 1 second? That is called acceleration. So this is the definition of acceleration. This acceleration leads to formula v is equal to u plus at. The definition of acceleration leads to the first equation of kinematics. And be careful, this equation is valid only when acceleration is constant. This formula is valid only when acceleration is constant. If the acceleration is not constant, how do you calculate velocity? That is by using calculus method. So that we'll discuss later. Next, look at this. Displacement is equal to, total displacement is equal to average velocity. What is average velocity? Final velocity plus initial velocity by 2 into t. Average velocity into time will give total displacement. Okay? Then in place of v, you substitute equation 1, that is v is equal to a plus at. We got the second equation of kinematics. S is equal to ut plus of at square. Okay? Fine. Of course, this equation is, all these equations are valid for acceleration is constant. Be careful. Then the third equation is the product of the first two. The third equation is the product of the first two. What is the first one? V minus u is equal to at. V plus u is equal to 2s by t. Second equation. Then product. V square minus u square is equal to as. Okay. So the third equation is the product of the first two equations. Remember that. Fine. Yeah. The last equation. This is the very, very important equation. And most of you confuse between this equation and the second equation. That is Sn is equal to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. Okay. It is displacement during nth second. During nth second of journey. Okay. What do you mean by displacement during nth second of journey? Let us say I want displacement during 5th second of journey. Displacement during 5th second of journey. So what I do is I will calculate the distance traveled in 5 seconds minus distance traveled in 4 seconds. I will get displacement in 5th second. That's why I define it as Sn is equal to displacement during nth second is S of n minus S of n minus 1. This is a very important definition. Distance traveled in n seconds minus distance traveled in n minus 1 seconds. So if you apply S is equal to ut plus of at square, from that I get u is plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. This is a very important formula and lot of problems we are going to solve based on this, especially freely falling body. Freely falling body we use that. Okay. So this is what my the just introduction of these four equations. Okay, fine, very good. Let us go to the next step. Here our problem solving session starts. Problem solving. Next class onwards, even you can send your questions. I will explain live. Okay, I will explain live. Today it is a demo class, so I want your opinion also. Okay, so because I want to test the technology. Okay, actually I can take on the board, but when I am explaining the concepts, I will explain through whiteboard. Okay, lively you can see the my photo and all you can see, but here problem solving I take the ipad screen. Okay, so let us start with this first one. Okay, first one, what is the first problem? If a body covers first half of the distance with a speed v1, second half with speed v2, what is the average speed of total journey? What is the average speed of the total journey? So please remember that here when he is using the speed means there is no acceleration. Remember that. No acceleration. Only he says the total journey yes. The total journey yes. First half s by 2. This car moves with a constant speed v1. After s by 2, he changed the speed. This car is moving with velocity v2. Okay. So what is the average velocity for the total journey? So average velocity is always defined as total displacement by total time. The definition. Okay. For a given journey, only one average velocity. For example, you are moving from Raichur to Bangalore. Okay. Somewhere in Davanagere comes in the middle, s by 2. So Raichur to Davanagere, the car is moving with uniform speed v1. From Davanagere to Bangalore, moving with v2. No acceleration here. What is the average velocity for our journey? So for a given journey, only one average velocity. There are many instantaneous velocities, of course. Okay. So that means s1 plus s2 by t1 plus t2. Very simple concept which already most of you know this. Okay. So I will show the calculation. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. If you anybody want to take down, you can take down this one. Okay. Total distance by total time. S1 is s by 2, S2 is s by 2. T1 plus T2. What is T1? Time is equal to displacement by or distance by speed V1. Because velocity is equal, displacement is equal to velocity into time. T2 is equal to s by 2 by v2. So if I calculate the average speed, I will get this one, which already you know. This formula, this concept is there in your PUC textbook. In PUC textbook, very standard problem. Just I am showing very standard problem. Okay. Next. Look at the same model question, but the total journey divided into three parts. S by 3, S by 3, S by 3. First S by 3 moves with velocity v1. Second S by 3 moves with velocity v2. Third S by 3 moves with velocity v3. The same concept used. Average speed is equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3 by T1 plus T2 plus T3. So S1 is S by 3. Of course, S2 and S3 also S by 3. And T1 is time is equal to distance by speed because no acceleration here. T2, T3. So if you apply and simplify, we got this formula. Just note down this one. In the NEET, generally, especially in the NEET, 50% of questions are this level. 50% of questions in the NEET are this level. And CET also the same level. Of course, IIT JEE, I will show IIT JEE how the questions are look like. Okay? So this is a CET and NEET level question. Okay? Fine. Look at this problem. This is JEE mains question. Of course, this is also easy question only. Sorry, next one. Okay, write down. Look at this question. If a body travels with uniform speed v1 for half of the total time. See, earlier half of the total distance is v1, distance, but here time. That means your journey time is 1 hour, first half an hour v1, second half an hour v2. So the remaining time, half of the time with uniform speed v2, what is the average speed? And sometimes most of the students are confusing between this problem and the previous problem. Here, if you divide total time into two intervals, t by 2, t by 2. First half of the time v1, second half of the time v2. Okay, so see the difference between this question and previous question. Half of the time. Okay, what is the average velocity for the total journey? Joe, look at this. It's a very easy question. The average speed is equal to S1 plus S2 by T1 plus T2. Simple, straightforward. S1 plus S2 by T1 plus T2. What is S1? We know that displacement S is equal to velocity into time. General formula. So S1 is V1 into T by 2. S2 is V2 into T by 2. Divided by T1 plus T2, T1 by T2. So the average velocity in this case is V1 plus V2 by 2. Just note down this one. What about the earlier one? The earlier one is 2V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. Half of the distance, but half of the time V1 plus V2 by 2. If you want, note down this concept. I'll give 1 minute time. You can note down. If anybody wants to note down, you can note down that. Okay. Next one. Now, for simplicity, I changed the concept. If a car covers 2/5 of total distance, 2/5 of total distance with a speed v1, 3/5 of distance with v2, what is the average speed? So here I divided the total journey two parts into three parts. So total 5 kilometers. First 2 kilometers car is covering with velocity v1. Second 3 kilometers traveling with velocity v2. Concept is same. Just I change it. What is the average velocity for the journey? Okay, same concept. I'll show that one. Very easy question. So as it is, v1, v2 are the speeds over the distance 2 by 5f, 3 by 5 s. S is the total distance. S is the total distance traveled. Of course, in one dimension, when there is no change in the direction, distance and displacement are same. So S1 plus S2 by T1 plus T2. Same concept I am using. S1 plus S2 by T1 plus T2. If I simplify, I got average speed as 5v1 v2 by 3v1 plus 2v2. This is the answer. Just you want to note down that. Okay. 5v1 v2 by 3v1 plus 2v2. So like this, in the examination they may ask anyway, whether half of the distance or 1/3 of distance or half of the time or 1/3 of time, anything you can ask. Okay? But if you know the basic concept, we can easily answer that. Okay? So you don't have to worry about this one. Okay? So just try to absorb the concept. In physics, I am giving, if you know the concept in physics, any tough question, whether it is a JEE mains or advanced, you can solve it very easily. Okay? And most of the student, they by heart the formulas without knowing the background of formulas. If you don't know the background of that formula, we don't know when you have to apply, when you have to not to apply. So be careful. So physics is a conceptual subject. Try to understand the concept, then try to solve it. For every problem, there is a concept behind it. Try to understand, like kinematics, these 4 equations in laws of motion, Newton's laws, law of conservation of momentum, law of conservation of energy, like that. Okay, fine. Let us go to the next one. Yeah, anybody can try this. Look at this. In this problem, I combined the earlier 2 concepts in a single problem. Look at the variety of this problem. I combined earlier 2 concepts. Earlier 2 concepts are, what are the earlier 2 concepts? Some distance v1, first concept. Sometime v1, second concept. Now I combined. What is that combined? A body traveling along a straight line covered 1/3 of total distance. I hope you are able to see my board clearly. With velocity 4 meters per second. That means, look at this. I am giving an idea. Total distance is S. Total distance is S. S by 3. S by 3. The car is covering with velocity v1, that is 4 meters per second. Okay? Look at that. The remaining part of the journey, what is the remaining part? 2s by 3. Be careful. the remaining part of the distance was covered with a velocity 2 meter per second, the velocity 2 meter per second for half of the time. For half of the time, be careful, underline that word, half of the time, and with velocity 6 meter per second for the other half of the time. So total 3 velocities are there. One velocity is distance is given, for other 2 velocities times are given. What is the average velocity of the journey? Okay. That means if the first s by 3 takes time t1, let us imagine 2s by 3 takes time t2. Okay. First s by 3 t1, second s by 2s by 3 t2. And what he says is half of the time, that means t2 by 2 with v2, the remaining t2 by 2 with v3. With v3. Okay. So for example, 10 kilometers, 9 kilometers, let us say 9 kilometers, 3 kilometers with velocity v1. In the remaining 6 kilometers, it takes some time t, half of the time with v2, the remaining time with v3. So what is the average velocity? Anybody can solve this problem. You can send your options to my WhatsApp number 9849138967. 9849138967. So freely you can send your options to my WhatsApp number. If anybody knows the answer. Answer is 5 meter per second, 5 by 2, 2, 4. What is the correct option? Suhas, I think Suhas, you have sent doubts. Anyhow, I am going to clear your doubts. Anyhow, I am going to clear all your doubts. Don't worry. Once the pandemic comes down, I am going to come to your Raichur. In person, I am going to explain. Anyhow, now there is no problem. So still we have different routes. Okay, send your option. Good. I am waiting for your response. What is the correct answer? 5 or 5 by 2 or 2 or 4? So, no problem, I'll give time. Don't worry. It's interactive class. It's interactive class. You can enjoy. Okay, we have enough time. 2 years time is there. So there is no hurry in completing the syllabus. Don't worry. Five by 2, 2. No problem, try. Even your answer is mistake, don't worry. Okay? Even your answer mistake, but try it. I will correct it. Making a mistake is quite a normal. So don't hesitate to do the mistake. Do the mistake and correct it. If you don't correct, that is the problem. So correct it. Always Many students initially they do mistakes. They're quite common, quite natural. But you should have temper to attempt and give the answer. Okay? Even if it's the wrong answer, I don't mind. Okay? I will appreciate. So one student has sent the answer very good. I'll appreciate. Answer is 5 meter per second. Very good. No problem. One student has sent the answer 4 meter per second. Good. So good response. Good. Very good. I appreciate that one. I'll show that. Look at this. Look at this. So average velocity is total displacement is S by total time. I am dividing, one is T1, the other one is T2. In that T2, again I am subdividing into T2 by 2, T by 2 by 2. Okay? Very good. So S by T1. What is T1? T1 is equal to S by 3 by V1. That's what is given. Already we got it. Okay. To calculate T2, just come here. Come here. You come here. So the total distance is 2s by 3 remaining. Then V2 into T2 by 2, velocity into time, V3 into T2 by 2, because half the time, the remaining half the time with velocity V1, the remaining half is with velocity V3. So if I simplify all this, I got T2 as S by 6. Okay. This step is very important step. Note down this one. I am putting 2 stars. Okay. So in place of T2, I substitute S by 6. If I simplify, I got 4 meter per second. Okay, very good. One of the student has sent the correct answer. Very good. Excellent. I don't know his student name. Okay, fine. Don't worry. Okay, good. Okay. Let us take the next one. Look at this one. Look at. It is the very standard bit. Here acceleration is there. Up to now, there is no acceleration for a body or a particle. But here, initial velocity is u. Let us say when you are starting at home, the speedometer is recording u, and you have accelerated your car or a bike uniformly. By the time you reach your college, the velocity is v. After time t. So acceleration is there. What is the average velocity for the journey? What is the average velocity for the journey? It may be u plus v by 2, u plus v by 4, root of u square plus v square by 2, or root of uv by 2. Okay? It is a very simple. Average velocity is equal to total displacement by total time. Then, in place of total displacement, you write ut plus half at square by t. Because already you know that one. Then, in place of a, you write v minus u by t and simplify. So if you simplify, you will get the first option. This is the correct option. U plus v by 2. So here u is instantaneous velocity at the starting point of a journey, and v is instantaneous velocity at the end of the journey. I think you know that instantaneous means at that instant, for a small interval of time, you measure the displacement, divide by time, generally for 1 second. If journey is, for example, for 1 hour, for 1 second you measure the displacement, that gives instantaneous velocity. Fine, the answer is u plus v by 2. Of course, you know already from the derivation. So let us go to the next one. Of course, is already worked out. Yeah. Look at this problem. Look at this one. Read the question. 1 minute time I will give and try to work it out and send your options. I hope everybody is able to see clearly my iPad board. Two ends of a train moving with a constant acceleration pass a certain point with velocities u and v. The velocity with which the midpoint of the train passes the same point. So indirectly what is asked is, if u is the initial velocity of the car, v is the final velocity of the car, okay, instantaneous velocity, s is the total displacement, is asking what is the velocity at midpoint of a journey. Midpoint of a journey means at s by 2. What is the velocity at midpoint of a journey? That means you are driving your car with a uniform acceleration. At your home, you recorded speedometer reading. When you reach the college, you recorded speedometer reading. You forgot to record the speedometer reading at midpoint of a journey. From this data, can you calculate the velocity at midpoint of a journey? So try this problem, all of you. I'll give 1 minute time. Send your options through WhatsApp number, my number. Try this. So Vignesh has, okay, fine. Vignesh, try. His name is Vignesh. Good. Suhas and Vignesh, I am able to identify your names. Option 3. Very good. What is your name? What is your name? You type your name, no problem. Okay, Abhishek. So, Shreya. Correct. Shreya is correct. Your answer is perfect. Good. Shreya Kenneth. Okay, fine. Good. Let me show it. Very simple question. Look at this. If v1 is velocity at midpoint of a journey, apply v square minus u square is equal to 2as. For first half, v1 square minus u square is equal to 2as by 2. Similarly, apply for second half, v square minus v1 square is equal to as by 2. Equate. What is equate? v1 square minus u square is equal to v square minus v1 square. So 2v1 square is u square plus v square by 2. Sorry. So by 2, v1 means root under root. So answer is root of u square plus v square by 2. Just note down that one. Instantaneous velocity at midpoint of a journey. Okay, good. Let me go to the next one. Of course, I want to give a, just look at small idea, because already most of you know this concept. Okay, good. Look at this. In this slide, I want to differentiate between average velocity and average speed. If the body moving in a straight line without changing the direction, average velocity and average speed is same. Straight line, one dimension, but you should not come back. You should not come back. Return. Then we same. But in two dimension, they are not same. Okay. In two dimension, distance is always greater than displacement. Note down that point. Distance by displacement is greater than or equal to 1. Sometimes they ask a theory question like this. Distance by displacement is always greater than 1 or equal to 1. Maximum equal to 1. Fine. So, average velocity is total displacement by total time. Look at this case. A car traveling 30 kilometers east, 40 kilometers north. Okay. So, the shortest distance between the initial and final position is called displacement. That is A to C. This is the shortest distance. Generally, we call this as displacement. Be careful. Displacement. Okay. The length of the actual path followed is called distance. This total is called distance. Okay. So, displacement is only 50, whereas distance is 70. So, average velocity is 50 by 3 kilometers per hour. Average speed is 70 kilometers per hour. Okay, fine. So this is a simple concept. I hope everybody got are able to differentiate between average velocity and average speed. Remember that always average speed is greater than average velocity. Maximum they are equal. Average speed by average velocity greater than or equal to 1. Okay. In one dimension, no change in direction, then they are equal. Fine. Look at this. Sometimes they give a graph. Velocity time graph they give. Velocity time graph they give. Then they ask what is the average velocity from this graph. Average velocity from this graph. How do you calculate? So here, what is a graph? What is a graph? Generally we discuss these graphs in mathematics. If you have two variables, y and x. I think I sent link for my differentiation and integration class. Very simple way I explained. Not much mathematics, physics language. The relation between the two variables is called equation. Okay. Generally we call y is a function of x. Here x is called independent variable, y is called dependent variable. Y depends on x. Let us say your height. Up to 16 years, your height varies with your age. So there y is height, x is your age. So the relation between the two variables generally we call it the equation. It's fine. But for a layman, if you give the relation between your height and time, you may not understand very clearly. But if you convert that mathematical equation in a graphic form, a picture form, picture speaks 1,000 words. Picture speaks 1,000 words. We can easily understand about the situation. Okay? We can easily understand about the situation if we show it in a graph. Okay? That's why, especially in physics, especially in JEE, at least 30% of questions are involved from graphs. 30% of questions are involved in graphs. You have to understand the meaning of the graph. So graph is a pictorial representation of a mathematical equation. So look at this graph. In this graph, velocity is varying with time linearly. So if the graph is straight line, we call it as linear. We start as linear. It can be non-linear. Okay. So what is the slope of this graph represents? Slope. Let R angle. Okay. Tan theta. Tan theta is equal to y by x dy, change in y. Here v minus u by x is t. So this is nothing but acceleration. Please note this point. The slope of velocity time graph gives acceleration. That's what the slope means. Slope is nothing but inclination. y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Fine. If I calculate the area, look at now. If I calculate the area, what it gives? Look at, if I divide this total area into small strips, length of the small strip I will call it as dt because x-axis is time, dt. You can also call it as dx. The height of the strip is v. Then what is the area means? Area is length into breadth. Length is v, height. Breadth is dt. This is the area of the strip under this graph. Then this is nothing but displacement. Remember that. This is nothing but displacement. ds you can call it as. Okay. v into dt. For example, at total time is 5 seconds. At 2 seconds, I'll measure the velocity multiply by time, we'll get displacement at that time. Now, if I calculate the total area, I will get total displacement. So generally, sum of all this, we write in mathematical language, sum means yes, like this. Yes. Yes. Sum of ds. Okay. ds plus ds plus ds will give s. So integral of v dt, this is called integration. And what I am integrating? I am integrating the area. Total area I am dividing into small parts and adding all the areas. I will get total displacement S. Total displacement. Okay. Even dimensionally you can check y into t. Y means v, t into time, velocity into time is displacement. So note down, area under velocity time graph gives total displacement. Area under VT graph gives total displacement. So if I calculate the area, generally it is a linear, so it is nothing but a triangle. Half, it is nothing but a triangle. Half base into height will get area. Divide by total time is 5 seconds given 5. So that gives average velocity, V average. V average. So when graph is given, how do you find average velocity? Means simply calculate the area under the graph, divide by total time. Total time is given along x-axis. You will get average velocity. You will get average velocity. Okay. So I hope everybody got the idea how to calculate average velocity when velocity time graph is given. Okay. So okay, fine. The same thing they use it as integration method. The same method is also called integration method. Of course, don't worry, I will explain integration. Okay, in offline class I will explain. Most of you are going to learn in mathematics, but that takes time, not now. So here, if you know the formula for integration, enough. Okay, so in integration method, average velocity is sum of v dt. What is v dt? Small displacement. Divide by total time. Total time means dt. Okay, this symbol indicates total. Yes, sum. So sum means yes. Stretch the s. Okay, this is a symbol. So this is a symbol used by Newton. Newton developed this calculus. He has used that symbol. Okay, sum integral of v dt by dt is v average. Okay, so don't worry about this one. Okay, we are going to discuss in detail. Of course, this is the formula. So whenever you come across integral of x to the power of n dx, the formula is x to the power of n plus 1 by n plus 1, integration formula. If anybody want the derivation for this, you just look at my link. I think yesterday I have sent a link. Integration and differentiation, very simple way I explained, without not much mathematics. Look at that. Okay. Look at. So this is the problem sent by one of the student. I think his name is Suhas. Suhas has sent this doubt. So look at this. So I will clear his doubt. Okay. A ball dropped from top of a building takes 0.25 seconds to pass a window whose length is 45 by 16 meters, window length. Okay. If acceleration due to gravity is 10 meter per second square, find the point at which the ball is dropped. Point means height of that point. From where the ball is dropped. Okay, like this. Look at this. I will explain simple question. First, there is a window. There is a window whose length is 45 by 16, height of the window. So from somewhere the ball is dropped. But to cross the window, just to cross the window, it takes 1 by 4 seconds. 0.25 means 1 by 4 seconds. Okay. Suppose you are inside the window. You are able to see only 0.25 seconds. Okay. Your observer is observing that ball. Ball is falling from 5th floor. You are in 3rd floor, in window. Okay. So he is asking, what is the height, from what height it is falling? From what height it is falling? Actually, from one dimension problems are not so easy. Actually, two dimension problems, projectile problems are easy. But one dimension, especially when a body projected vertically up, they are tough. But anyhow, next class I am going to discuss those. Okay. So let me explain this. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. Okay. First thing, remember that for a freely falling body, initial velocity is 0. Then acceleration is g. These 2 points you have to remember first. Okay. 2 points. U0, AG. Okay. Fine. It is falling from a height h from the window. H is from the window. When it is about to cross the upper edge of the window, let us say its velocity is u. Let us say its velocity is u. When it is just crossing the upper edge of the window, its velocity is u. And time taken to cross the window is 1 by 4 seconds. Window height is 45 by 16. Okay. From this data, I will apply S is equal to ut plus half at square. Okay. I will calculate what is the velocity at starting point of the window, not starting point of the object. Starting point of the window. So I am taking A as g. From that I got the velocity at the starting point of the window is 10 meters. Simplify, you will get 10 meters. The velocity at the starting point of the window, I will call as window as A, B. Highest point you call as C. Okay. So for CA part, C is the highest point. Again I will apply V square minus U square is equal to 2AS formula. Okay. The starting point velocity 0. And what is the velocity at starting point of journey? So 10 square minus 0 square is equal to 2AS. A is G10. I am taking G value 10. So I will get the height of the body, height of that point from the top of the window is 2 meters. 2 meters is the answer. Please check your answer. If you are not getting answer, send it to me. Okay. So this is the one of the problem you sent, Suhas. Next problem. One more problem he has sent. Last one. So what is this problem is a stone dropped from the top of a tower. After 1 second, another stone is dropped from a point 10 meter below the top of a tower. If both the stone reach the ground simultaneously, find the height of the tower. Find the height of the tower. This is the question he has sent. Directly I have taken photo. I can take a photo like this. I can explain. Okay, don't worry. So I'll explain. So first one is dropped from top of the tower. Second one is dropped from 10 meters below. That means one is h, the other one is h minus 10. One is dropped from here, the other one is 10. Okay, so let us okay. Look at this. I have solved clearly with a diagram. I have written everything clearly. The first one is dropped at from height h at 12 o'clock midnight. Why I am using the word 12 o'clock means 00 time. Don't worry, 12 o'clock it is 00 time. Second one is dropped from a height 10 meter below. That means the remaining is h minus 10 remaining. Second one is dropped from second floor. At what time? 12:1. Remember that. 001. 001. Like that, if you understand the concept, you can easily solve the problems. Okay. So, one is dropped by you at 12 o'clock from the top floor. Another stone dropped by your friend at 12:1 from third floor, which is distance between you and your friend is 10 meters, like that. Both the stones reach the ground simultaneously. You have to understand this verbal meaning. You have to understand the verbal meaning. Reach the ground simultaneously means what? Okay, so they reach the ground at same time. That means at 12t. 12t. Let us say both are reaching at 12:10, touching the ground at same time from the watch. That means if the first one takes time t seconds, if the first one takes time t seconds, the second one takes t minus 1 seconds. Second one takes t minus 1 seconds. So simply apply for first body h is equal to half gt square. For first body apply h is equal to half gt square. For second body h minus 10 is equal to half t minus 1 whole square. Anyhow, u0 for both the bodies. H is equal to ut plus half at square. u0. Two equations. In place of h square, in place of h, substitute half gt square and simplify, you will get time is equal to 3/2 seconds. T. Time t is equal to 3/2 seconds. Once know the time, I can find h half g 3/2 whole square. The answer is 11.25 meters. The answer is 11.25 meters. So you can check, Suhas, you check the answer, and if you have any doubts, please send it to me. Okay. So anyhow, I am going to this slide. I will send it to you. So that is one. Okay. Fine. So thank you very much. In the next class, we'll take up some more problems on freely falling body. Okay. So next class we'll try with Zoom app once, okay, both, because sometimes if I want to explain, I need a board, whiteboard. So YouTube is a compatible for that. Okay, for solving the problem, Zoom app is better. Okay, fine. So thank you very much.